Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me at True Divine 44 on YouTube and Bitchute and various other places. Just look in the description box. I'm adding more places as I go and as I get used to them, which takes a bit of doing. This is the daily energy reading with tarot to help give you a reading for the energies that you may encounter within you, around you, and within others. Take what resonates as it is general. Leave what does not. No offense will be taken. Leave a comment. I do appreciate letting me know how you're getting on with the energies, and also being able to enter into dialogue with other people in the chat and with myself. So this is for the 3rd of March 2021. Okay, so there's a significance regarding numbers greatly today, and it's a lot about illusion and spell work, like being able to have things happen right in front of a person, but because of the spell work that I'm feeling for today, that's coming today, they're creating illusions. So I could be sitting in front of somebody, giving them absolute receipts on something that I know about or that I've witnessed and have proofs, so-called proofs, but they would be foolproof and they would still not see it because of this kind of spell that creates this veil, this illusion. Now, I don't want to go too much into the structure of this spell because it's with negative intent regarding what it is intended for. It's very, very similar to that emergency number that changed the United States emergency number, and what that is relevant for date-wise and correlates with. So it's very relevant to that similar kind of spell, an illusion where real people get hurt, but an illusion as to how it's going down, why it's going down, and what the desired outcome of it is. And so the first card we have is the Nine of Wands. And so this speaks of a great discernment. It speaks of being battered and bruised and tired and having a heavy load to carry for quite some time, a wearing down feeling, a feeling of being drained. And of course, it's difficult to keep your mind alert in that period of time where you're tired, you're drained, you've been beaten down in various different ways. The Nine of Wands can be heavy. It's nearly towards the 10 of Wands, so you're coming towards the end of a heavy cycle. But also it's clarified with the Nine of Wands. And so this, I don't like this. The energy that I'm getting from this is this illusion, because what the Nine of Wands calls for in its most upright wisdom is it calls for huge amounts of discernment, huge amounts of having the ability to take a pause, to stop and really discern what's going on and really see through illusions. You know, when you're the vision I'm getting is, you know, when you're tired and you've seen it on movies and you're in a desert and you realize that you haven't drank, you're hot, and you start to see mirages, is it? It's illusions of the mind, of beautiful streams of water and whatnot. That to me has always been very interesting, but also here it's part of this sort of ritual that I'm feeling. And this ritual is calling for sacrifice, and that's happening right now. That sacrifice is being claimed right now, particularly in Syria. So things look like they're ramping up even more there today. So this is a very, very, I want to say excellent, but it's not excellent. That's not the right term. Very, very advanced spell work. Very intricate ingredients to it, times and dates, the numbers. And so this speaks to causing mirages in front of people's eyes while they get on with what they need to get on with and start to get to their 10 of Wands, which is these last couple of years, they've been the ending of this cycle, coming into a new cycle that they are desperately trying to channel us into helping create. we need to stop this, and we need to see through these illusions. Now, as above, so below. So in our individual lives, look out for illusions that other people are trying to put before you, illusions of what they want you to see, or indeed illusions that you, like in a desert, are manifesting yourself, that you're creating an illusion because you don't want to look at the real truth. You don't want to discern the real truth of the matter, whatever that matter is in your life, in your individual life, and the people around you and everything that is involved in your individual life. Really be discerning here, really take a pause. Try not to speak unless you've really had time to format the sentence, to think about what you're responding to. Be real careful with that. Huge amounts of discernment with these 2 9s. And especially when you're feeling, you know, things haven't gone quite to plan for a lot of people that resonate with this. And you've had great persistence, as the 9 of Wands is, and great amounts of bravery and having those big shoulders to carry a lot of burdens all at once and a lot of changes all at once, and things haven't quite gone to plan as was planned, or as was seen, or as was your illusion or somebody else's illusion of how it would play out, how it would be. And so it's hard to see past that, because when you've put everything into a certain vision of how something's going to work out, how something's going to be, and it stops doing that, it stops being that vision, it's difficult. We can create even more illusions for ourselves because we're just too frightened to look at what it means, to look at the reality of the situation and what changes that would bring about. So thankfully we've got the Sun card in the middle of the lead up of the, what am I talking about, of the layout. The Sun card is hugely enlightening. It's this, you know, growth energy, you know, it makes things grow, it makes things healthy. You know, we have that vitamin D and coming from the sun. Be aware to, you know, top up on that with whatever supplements you can afford, but also, you know, you getting that natural amount from the sun is super important, and a great message for today, and a great message to continue on with, regardless of the psyop of the whatever situation we're in. Most of us are lacking in vitamin D, and so this is important to do going forward with our immune system. But the sun is shining, it's bringing a sense of enlightenment. Sometimes when the worst things happen and you do manage to see through the illusions and look through the illusions, the sun is shining. Now, I feel this is for a lot of you in your individual lives, when you make the right decisions from being discerning here in these 2 cards. What I'm worried about is the illusion of this is going on in the background, where the shadow is being cast in the sun, and people are distracted by what is lit up by the sun, if you know what I mean. So yes, enjoy that enlightenment, enjoy that bliss that puts out a frequency of power, divinity, and sovereignty. Enjoy that love, but also be observant of not just where you want to look regarding where the light is shining, you know, in your individual life, but look beyond that and see what is going on. Often narcissists will give you the best day ever when they have the worst behind your back plans. You know, they'll wine you and dine you, and then you'll find out they used your money to pay for it or something, because they wanted something extra to pay. They wanted something more with their money, that kind of thing, but on a much more nefarious, much more grand scale. And so it's important to not have your sight obscured by the sun. There's a lot of light here, there's a lot of heat. We've got the 2 9 of Wands, and then we've got this Sun card, the most hot card, you know. Things accelerate in the sun, and though we can project and do the right actions in our individual lives to accelerate enlightenment, growth, and harvest in our own lives, you know, we have to not get too complacent, because that's how we've got to where we are now, as to what also goes on under that heat, what also goes on when you can't quite clearly see. You know, you've got sunglasses on, or the sun's obscuring you know, the summer sky when you're driving. So dangerous. You've got to be so careful, because cars just disappear in it in your eyesight. And so this is important. So although this is real good, brilliant, and I want to see the sun, it's important that we still have wisdom, that we still have balance, and we still recognize what we are dealing with. It's also a message to get planting wherever you can. Or, you know, maybe offer somebody a little bit of money if you haven't got a garden, if they've got a garden, to plant a patch, or not even money. Let's maybe get away from that and say, let me plant some things, you know, just in this corner, and we'll share it. We'll share what if they've got kids, I'll help the kids learn how to plant things, how to grow things, how to harvest things. You know, some people that will work for, some people that are listening. So look out for those people that you could approach regarding that, to find a way around it. We've got the Four of Cups to clarify the sun. Now, the Four of Cups traditionally is this person sitting by a tree, and there's three cups in front that they're sort of concentrating on, but, you know, not quite happy with, or they're a bit complacent with. And then there's a hand from the sky, you know, like a godly type hand holding another cup, which has everything in it that this person needs to get their vision back, to get their creativity back, to get their juices pumping again regarding what they want to do next and how they want to do it and what they're emotionally led to. And so this is where you look real hard for what that cup holds, a little bit like the garden scheme thing I've just mentioned, you know, things like that that seem a bit obscure, that seem a bit like, I hadn't thought of that, but would that work? Give it a go, have a look at it, you know, be open to it. Because this speaks also of complacent illusion, because in other decks, how I've described it, there's this non-sight of what would be really good for this person, what would be really great for this person going forward. So again, it speaks a little bit of this illusionary aspect of not maybe seeing what's in front of you. So we've got the Five. So we go from the Four of Cups to the Five of Swords. And so the Five of Swords is nasty. It's conflict. This is absolutely regarding Syria and other places right now. There's huge amounts of conflict around the world, and everything, you know, predominantly, you know, seems calm in a day-to-day life, like where I am, where a lot of my brothers and sisters are from in the US. You know, it's not great, it's not normal, it's not pleasant, but it's not war. And it's the calm that we are feeling is absolute opposite to what is going on and being set up around the world right now. And the only reason we don't know it exists, or it's not in our consciousness, is because it's not being reported on as it should be. And if it is being reported on, it's being lied about. But this huge amount of conflict is breaking out, and it's all to do with this illusion that links back to the same type of kind of illusion of that emergency number in the US. And so it's a similar kind of energy to this ritual sacrifice, this ritualistic spell work that's going on. I don't like it at all. Of course, because of the way I've mentioned the individual part of the reading today, the Nine of Wands having huge discernment regarding yourself, creating illusion when things aren't working and they're not looking the way that you wanted them to. You create an illusion that it is going to work, or to continue on, and lose a bit of discernment. Or you have other people actively creating illusion around a situation that is trying to steer you off in a way, in a path that isn't for you. This would cause conflict when you get enlightened, when you get to see a way forward and drop the fear of things not working out as you'd particularly planned. You know, the to-do lists, the things you were going to get done, and when, with who, and how. All of that sort of goes out the window with the wisdom of seeing the enlightenment of another path forward, a different way forward. Now, of course, in your individual life, if you're brave enough and have enough wisdom to do this, it's going to cause conflict, I feel, you know, regarding the people that would be either caught out in creating illusions or lies, but, you know, also the fact that other people don't like to see other people moving on into different things when they're not ready to change, when they're even holding on to the same illusion. And so this would cause conflict, and pretty nasty conflict. So be aware of that. There's lots of ways you can protect yourself, frequency-wise, emotionally, physically. But there's a reason that you need to protect yourself financially if this resonates for you individually, because with that 5 of Swords, we've got the 5 of Coins. And the 5 of Coins, again, came up a few times. It's this lack. It's this lack mentality. It's this actual physical lack. It's being left out in the cold, being separated from what you are used to or who you are used to, taking you away from the norm. You feel like an outsider in your own home, that kind of energy. And so there's conflict here. There's people, this person, these systems that don't want to release you might try and cause a financial lack or a financial strain. So be aware of that, and be still sovereign and determined, because I think for the people who resonate with this, this has been part of the fear of letting go of that wasn't working, or that wasn't allowing you to follow your path full force in its entirety. And so to be brave and sovereign at this point is going to save you in the long run. And so, but as far as the collective stage with this conflict that I mentioned before, of course, it's causing severe lack. And they'll have us pay for these things. They'll have us pay for this to hurt brothers and sisters around the world, children around the world. And it's causing lack. The conflict between the so-called powers that be and certain systems against systems is causing lack when that is an illusion, because they're just creating a heck of a lot of money. We've got the 10 of Pentacles again on the bottom of the deck. They are actually creating this illusion that everybody's got to be in lack right now. We're all in this together, when actually they are raking it in while the sun shines. And because they know what they're doing, they can see the cup, they can see the illusion. They're creating the illusion of lack while they create pure wealth, and have us in this 10, this 5 of Swords and this 5 of Pentacles, both being very uncomfortable situations to be in. Both cause us to have huge distractions as to what's really going on from the so-called powers that be, so that it all works in favor for them. Now we've got the Knight of Cups. This speaks of having passionate goals, having emotional goals, wanting to get to somewhere emotionally, to feel fulfilled, to give this love to somebody, to share this love with something or somebody. The Knight of Cups is gentle, but you know, it is not a fool, and it will not, in its upright position, continue to give its love away to a source that is not giving it back, or is actually using that love to then have the energy to project out something that is negative. Again, that's building up karma on both sides. So the Knight of Cups has the wisdom of all of this regarding emotions, love, hurt, pains, wounds, bliss. It is a fair with the emotions. And he carries other people's emotions a lot. He's a knight. And so the energy that I'm picking up on today is that this knight, maybe you or maybe the other person involved in this, is that it's a heavy emotional toll when you're not in the right situation amongst the right people, and you are truly an empath, and you are picking up on these energies, and having not been taught how to release them, or having forgotten that knowledge because of this tired 9 of Wands position you've been put in, and these illusions that have been put before you, then you may just have forgotten that you're supposed to release this stuff, that you're not supposed to store this stuff up indefinitely, that it'll get you if you do. And so that's an energy to take note of today. Again, on the collective stage, I'm furious about what's going on. I was furious about it a long time ago, but the truth comes out where other people can see it too. And it allows me to vent my fury even more that this is going on. But I still And even with the visions that I see and the feelings and emotions and pains that I feel, I have to transmute that. I have to speak it out, transmute it, end the reading, light my sage up, you know, do some breathing, and it has to be gone. Otherwise, I can't be of any further service. When I get opportunities to be of further service in whichever way, shape or form that comes in the universe, if I'm holding on to all of these emotions that I'm feeling, that I'm picking up on, all of these energies, for good and bad, for low and high frequency, then I'm no good to anybody, and I'm no good to my children, who come first and foremost. So to learn how to release that is so important, because, you know, it'll kill you one way or another, whether that's emotionally, physically, mentally, you know, it'll get you. So, you know, be aware of that also. So that's the reading for today. I hope it helps. Let me know what you're picking up on. Let me know what you see. Let's keep sharing this dialogue. Let's get around these gatekeepers by continuing to share what's going on in our places of where we are living. Do that in the comment box. I don't mind that at all, even if it's not even relevant to this video. It opens up dialogue and lets other people know what's going on from, let's face it, predominantly a lot more, especially you guys on here, you're awesome, a lot more truthful service and place than we get from any mainstream. So I appreciate you all. Much love. Stay balanced and stay whole. Mwah.